What is good, NIO family? It's Rey-Jay back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only NIO stock, what you should be looking after for the future. I'm also going to break down what's going on with the overall market right now and how this may affect NIO, and why there's a good chance we could actually see a mini short squeeze tomorrow, which could actually help NIO pump a little bit. So I'm going to break down exactly why that is, what the news data and technicals are telling us, and once again what could end up happening to NIO for tomorrow. But before I break anything down about this, before I get into any more details, I do have to mention a couple of things before starting. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Make sure you take none of this as financial advice whatsoever. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire NIO community as a whole. And the last thing is, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, whether it's $1 or $100, it's up to you. You are guaranteed up to 12 free stocks, each worth up to $3,000. And the best part is, any could be a free NIO share. It's a limited time offer. The offer ends in just 4 days, so check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So NIO is actually down about 6.09% for the day as of right now. The market's about to close in just a couple of minutes, and NIO did actually sell off after this piece of news came out about how President Joe Biden is going to be unveiling some new Chinese investment curbs before the G7 summit, and there are going to be some limitations for businesses that are going to be investing in different parts of China's economy. It is unfortunate for many of the Chinese companies out there, and this did actually play a role in why we did see a lot of EVs also cool off. It did play a role in it. It's not necessarily everything. We also have to note that the overall market did sell off a bit, which affected NIO, and also Tesla had a very, very red day today after the earnings report that came out. And unfortunately, that did drag NIO down. Now, I warned you guys about this yesterday in my video. I told you that NIO is going to be also affected by Tesla and consumer discretionaries. And as a result, NIO did sell off. But the real question is, what's likely going to happen for tomorrow? NIO recently actually did present their new models at the Shanghai Auto Show, which is very cool. But this was kind of like a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of event for the company. So as this actually came out, we did see NIO sell off a bit, and this has been continuing as bearish momentum is getting stronger. Now, when it comes to earnings coming out for tomorrow, we have P&G tomorrow. We also have other companies. Nothing too major. I just want to note that so you guys don't remain kind of like confused about how earnings are going to go. For Friday, we also have PMI data coming out, which is very interesting. This will affect how the market moves. Then we also have a Fed speaker as the day goes on. Looking at SPY, we have a crazy day tomorrow. We have over 3 million puts expiring, a 2.95 put to call ratio, and max pains at 405. This tells me right here that there's a lot of shorting for SPY tomorrow. Tons and tons of options are expiring, and the shorts are going to try to smack the market down, whereas the market makers are going to try to prop the markets up. What do I think is very likely? Well, because we're selling off this hard right before it, there's a good chance the market makers are just getting ready to save their powder for tomorrow, and they are very likely going to try to squeeze the shorts. It's very likely, in my opinion. I think it's a little bit more likely. And once again, make sure you are ready for what's to come. Now, NIO had a lot of volume. Excuse me, sorry guys. We had a lot of volume of 53 million, and we're actually selling on high volumes. There's a lot of selling pressure for NIO. This momentum is likely going to continue into tomorrow, but it's going to require a big move from the market to help reverse this stock. Price-price ratio is dropping, showing some relative weakness for NIO. And NIO has a tendency of being red. Actually tends to be green, I think like 53% of the time on Fridays. We're not likely to be red tomorrow. And the short volume, or the daily short volume, has been decreasing a little bit. That's another good sign for the stock. So what am I seeing for tomorrow? Honestly, guys, this is, once again, still not looking that great when you include the extended hours. Without the extended hours, I just want to note that I'm going to look for any divergences if I see any. I'm not really seeing it. We might have one right here, actually. I'll just have to double check this. Yes, we do actually have a small divergence, a very tiny one right here. NIO's price went lower, but the RSI actually went a little bit higher compared to before. So that tells me there's a good chance NIO might try to uptrend a little bit and maybe get back to about gap resistance. Now, I also want to note that for SPY SPY sold off very hard, but we are actually bouncing off this trend line. And this is the trend that SPY has been basically stuck in for the last couple of days. If you include the extended hours, the same thing actually is continuing, because on the 1 hour time frame, we're just below the line right here. So for tomorrow, I am anticipating that we gap up a little bit. We might start off with the sell off, but maybe the data comes out and time progresses, and we eventually start to see the market push up and up, because of the fact that the market makers are going to likely try to squeeze shorts pretty hard. Right, we're closing near the very bottom of this channel. If we break below it, that's going to be a very bearish signal. If we break all the way down to like 409 or lower, but so far we're not doing that. So far we're still in this, so the odds are favoring a bounce. Maybe like we come down to fill the gap one more time, and then we try to push up, and that, in my opinion, could lead to more bullish price action for tomorrow and possibly a large short squeeze. I'm also saying this because when you look at the VIX is actually trying to stabilize. It's up about 5%. But if you look at what happened today, it basically gapped up. It came down like this. And as it came down, it formed this very interesting amount of momentum. Could the VIX be getting ready to break out? I mean, it is a possibility, but my gut tells me it might cool off one more time before we start to see this thing really break out. We might not be done yet with the selling pressure for the markets. The VIX is very manipulated, so we have to be as very, very cautious as possible. But anyways, as the market's about to close, I just want to let you guys know that Tesla also has a very big bullish divergence developing right here. Tesla is actually getting stronger in the RSI, and it's getting very close to bottoming. The MACD is suggesting the same thing. Tesla will most likely bounce either tomorrow or it may happen early next week. Tesla is going to likely get a bounce soon, and this could also help a lot of consumer discretionaries, especially NIO. What do I predict for tomorrow? My number one prediction for NIO for tomorrow would be, it depends on how we open. We're likely going to see NIO trade very sideways, because when we start off, we're going to be sideways, and then we could rally later on. But the reason why we'd likely start off that way is because looking at the momentum indicators, NIO is gaining some momentum, so it's gaining a little bit of strength. Then also when we look at our extended hours, NIO had this head and shoulders like formation. It didn't really play out perfectly, but you could see NIO was actually very close to the bottom of it. So it's going to stabilize around 8 to 8.25. And we came very close to doing that for today. So my best prediction for NIO would be this thing either cools off a little more, it gets closer to 8, and then bounces and tries to get back to 8.5, or it just tries to rally tomorrow, gets a counter trend bounce, some sideways action in the beginning, and then we bounce and try to get back to 8.5. I think the odds favor that, and I think everyone should be prepared for something like that. But until then, I want to just thank every single one of you for listening. I also have some merch for you guys if you're interested, either above or below the comment section. If you want to buy a tank top or shirt that says "to the moon" or something else like that, the choice is really yours. I would really appreciate it if you guys did check it out. But anyways, if you don't, completely fine with me. Thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day. NIO to the moon. The long term is very bright, and peace out.